Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Ryan has spirit science in his...
Hi there guys, speaking Ryan JC.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Thank you, Kanye. I honestly never thought I'd say this.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
I take that back. Now, it's been a little while since the last video, so let me just do a quick recap of the things Ryan has said so far.
In this video, I'm just going to talk about something someone actually mentioned underneath one of my videos, one of my previous videos, where I talk about how to contact me on Facebook. And she mentioned how it is that she should talk to skeptics. Your negative attitude throughout your life when you was unconscious has actually hindered your happiness when it comes to your experiences within life. Ascension process. We just want to share it to everyone. We want to have everybody really becoming masters of their own minds and being craftsmen of their own state of consciousness, just for the plain reason for them to be able to better reflect a reality based upon their reflection of their own ego or their own personality, in order to create a lifestyle that they actually deserve, rather than creating a self-destructive lifestyle built upon unconscious behaviors or unconscious habits. I'm going to tell you where I used to go wrong when I used to communicate to people.
2,000 years later.
My brother. So I didn't listen. Could also be switched vice versa. I could be giving people information which they don't want to know because it's not in their best interests at that particular time.
Basically, at this point, Ryan reaches this point of convergent evolution where he discovers something that a lot of people had already discovered and employed in evangelical ministries, which is basically the Overton window, which is, as a quick overview, I explained this in lesson 1, and hopefully all 4 of you remember it, but people, if they have a viewpoint of, say, a 5, which is like a moderate political viewpoint, they won't accept like opinion of 1, which would be socialism, or opinion 10, which is anarchy. But they'll accept like a viewpoint 6, which is like like really moderate Republican, or a 4, really moderate Democrat. But they won't accept like ideological anarchism, number 9. Or they won't accept democratic socialism as number 2. So it's really weird. And he discovers this in his mind and how to use it. And it's a very dishonest system where you don't have to give people proof. And this is where it all culminates. I'm just going to cut the crap and give you what his final say is on how you should definitely talk to hardcore skeptics that want to see your factual information put down.
Eventually.
The only way to talk to these skeptics is not to talk to them at all.
What? What the fuck?
Now, this might sound weird, but this is actually very normal for religious and spiritual groups to try to not have intellectual conversations with skeptics or people that will challenge their belief with facts. This is actually very, very normal. As an evangelist, I was specifically told to, when directed and shown facts and such, to direct people back to the Bible. Really weird, I know. Really, really weird, but it happened, and it's a thing that you can't avoid. So, Ryan, basically what you're saying is when someone needs to see factual evidence for your beliefs and such to make sure that you're not having a delusion or something of that nature, you just say, no, I'm not gonna be addressed, and as an equal intellectual, I'm going to run away from this debate. I can't address you with facts. You have to experience it on your own. Very similar to the Christian belief that God will reveal himself to you only if you truly believe. It's, in my opinion, it's the biggest intellectual cop-out you could ever have in your entire life, and he exemplifies it here very well. I really love, first of all, in the bottom left, the little thing that says the harsh truth. Like, come on, guys, it's the harsh truth. We don't have a leg to stand on. It's a fucking war zone out there. You gotta keep your heads fucking down. Keep your heads down. They'll find out about us. Look, just run. Just run. Now, before I leave you guys with that blessedly amazing little snippet of information by Ryan, which was amazing, I want you to, first of all, see a little clips talking about what he thinks about hardcore skeptics, and also his opinion on how he thinks hardcore skeptics are made, stuff like that he thinks is rock solid and actually is important and happens and stuff. Let's begin with what he thinks about why hardcore skeptics become hardcore skeptics.
The next class of skeptic is a self-defeating skeptic. They don't believe in the things you're saying because the things that you're saying is a threat to their own belief system. And their belief system is built up upon a particular way of thinking which keeps them in the moment thinking that they know what they need to know at that present moment, if you know what I mean.
No, Ryan, I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're going on about, partially because my parents fucking love me, and I took critical thinking classes, and I don't have any problems, and I've never done drugs. But maybe you could explain in some way that you understand. Maybe you could, like, role play it. Can you show it to us why you think these people have these problems, possibly?
Backing in order to prove evidence, right? That's what they need. They need evidence. Evidence comes from your own experience. That's something I know of.
Thank you, fucking editor-in-chief of Science Magazine, Ryan. Thank you so much for that definition of fucking evidence. Obviously, you went to college. I can tell. And got your degree in underwater basket weaving. Siri, what's the definition for evidence?
Evidence means the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid.
Thank you, Siri.
Let's do a bit of role play here.
Perfect. I will role play as the therapist that you never spent more than one session with.
Say if you're the audience and you're watching me and I'm in a play, right? Say if my name's Timmy. Timmy. Say if me, Timmy. Probably doesn't suit the way I look.
It does.
Listen to what I have to say now, because this is probably going to relate to you, okay? The classic hardcore skeptic probably doesn't understand the fact that he is the soul having a human experience. The hardcore classic skeptic probably doesn't understand about consciousness and life after death, stuff like this, simply because he hasn't or she hasn't experienced enough. Timmy sounds like I'm from England, so I'm from England, so Timmy's kind of English name. Say if me, Timmy, was growing up and I was a child, I was 6 years old and I was looking at my father and I love that guy. And I was looking at him and I was in admiration, I was in awe at how his scientific development, how his theories of logic of the left brain thinking gave solutions and practical solutions to people's lives and made them better, right? And I just admired the way how he was so right and correct all the time, so scientific in his facts, you know. And then all of a sudden, my mum and my dad get in a fight. And then all of a sudden, they break up and I just don't see him anymore, you know. Soon as they get into an argument, but they get very violent. And then a day on the couch turns into a month on the couch. Next thing I know, so I don't see my dad anymore. He's leaving the house. Okay. He then comes back once a week. He then comes back once a month. I see him once a year. I don't see him 6 to 10 years at a time. Timmy is going to feel pain. He's going to feel hurt. He's going to feel loss. Okay. However, because I've had that experience, the scientific background, Timmy's had that experience. The way I look at life now is going to be completely scientific. You know, completely scientific. I would reject anything that threatened my admiration, my outlook, my view on my father. I would reject it. And the thing is if I lived in this way from that childhood all the way to like 40, 30, or maybe even 20 years old, I could even forget the memories. Because the energy, that imprint is still there, I'm still going to be behaving off of it. It doesn't go away. It's a type of consciousness or thinking which is like a residual thinking pattern which stays stuck in your body, which keeps changing the way that you behave or think or the way you look at and outlook at life. Okay? So I could be completely unconscious of what's happening because I'm not putting my attention on it. I'll still be thinking that way. So which would mean that me, Timmy, let's say for the sake of this example, would look at everything scientifically and I would refuse anything else that threatened my belief system of my father. So, okay, an example of this classic self-defeating skeptic, and I get this a lot on my comments, and if you're going to watch this, guys, if you are one of these people who've just found my videos by accident, and maybe before you found my videos by accident you were doing something completely different, so you're not aware of the possibility of this stuff that I'm saying being true or whatnot, and you're getting ready to just throw abuse at my comments, because that's all I live off of. It's my own experience. I don't live off of Chinese whispers. If I was born without spiritual knowledge, backing, without spiritual experiences, I would be a skeptic. Not a hardcore skeptic, but I would be a skeptic. You know, I wouldn't believe everything straight away. I'd look at it as an example for my awareness, for me to actually look into it more, to see if there's a possibility of me experiencing the things that people are saying. I wouldn't say it's wrong, but I wouldn't say it was true neither, not straight off the bat. Now, the classic hardcore skeptic, okay, say for example...
What? What the fuck?
Now, thank you, JonTron. Moving on to our next point. Actually, I can't move on from that point. That was extremely sad. I'm very sorry, Timmy, that happened to you. Now, I'm going to propose a counter to that. That, Ryan, you are Timmy, and your dad and your mom were together, and your dad was possibly a complete crackpot and moved out on your mom or something like that, and you didn't want to discourage yourself or think less of your father and or mother, whichever one's the traumatizing one, who had these crackpot ideas. So you put them on yourself and projected them onto yourself and then made yourself this way, and now you don't want to drop these really weird pseudoscientific beliefs because they are who you are and you think that you can't separate yourself from them. There's a lot of things we could throw around and just vague accusations to each other saying, oh, you're this, you're that, you need therapy, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, skeptics look at things objectively. And that's at the end of it. And if there is no evidence for something overall, if there's no data to show it in peer-reviewed trials that are double-blind, then there's just nothing there, Ryan. And you just have to accept that. My beliefs, my personal beliefs, aren't my choice. They're, from what the data shows me, the hardcore double-blind data shows me, I have to base my beliefs off of that. If that's infallible, it sucks, but it's just there. There's no parental trauma in my life. There is no dad walked away. My parents have been together for 26 fucking years. I've had an amazing life with them. Very few bumps. I talk to my dad every day and my mom every day, and my sister is an amazing part of my life. I don't... See, the thing is that when you start making generalizations, it doesn't let people like me exist. People like me who, by all means, live in a family that is slightly theistic and has all these things. They're just average. I live in a completely average family. But you know what? It's not fucking normal to believe that Krishnu is coming to revitalize the fucking summer. I don't understand where you get these beliefs. That's weird. That's not normal. You're going against the grain. But aside from that, you're also going against the facts, that you have nothing other than your own and other people's delusions to support your personal beliefs. And you don't want to get rid of those beliefs for whatever reason. And that's on you, Ryan. That is completely on you.